video button. Feel free to press that, and that way we can see your faces as well. But welcome to the call. So those of you who I have not met yet, my name is Jody Whitaker. I live up in the Chicagoland area, and I actually have a son who's a freshman at Baylor. So sick 'em Bears. I'm such a Baylor fan now. And I know for sure on the line, we have a couple people that I know. So we have Val on the line, and in a little bit, I'm going to have you share your story. And then we have Christy Pelkey on the line, and she lives up north here near me in another Chicago suburb called McHenry. And so what I always like to do is to start out by sharing some stories. So the first thing I want to say is that with our wellness program, we can never promise any results. We never cure, diagnose, or treat anything. But what we can tell you is that when you put the system into your body, and we'll explain the synergy of how it all goes together, your body becomes a miracle and amazing things happen. So we like to share victories of what has happened to us as team members, but please remember that everybody has different, both scale and non-scale victories, and at different time periods. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out there, because I don't want anybody saying, well, you promised this would happen in a week, that we don't make those kind of promises. So Christy, are you unmuted? It looks to me like you're unmuted. Can you chat?
I just can't.
There you are. So, because you're there you are. Because you're a little bit of a veteran compared to Val. What I would like you to do is for you to share your 30-second story with us first, and just share like why you came to Isagenix and what it's done to help you.
Sure. I started it's a year ago this month I started. I guess what really got me going was I was feeling very low in energy. I was feeling like bloated, and I just felt like I was out of my norm. And I had been going through a lot of personal issues with the death in the family, my husband having broke his leg, and we were going through that whole thing of him being out of work. So the stress level just kept building up and building up and building up. And I finally told myself, it's now or never. I need to do this, and I will make it work one way or another. So within about a week of starting, I started feeling better. I started seeing results with my personality. People could tolerate being around me again. My energy was increasing. Having 3 kids, you can't go through the day of not having energy to keep up with them. So it's been a life-saving thing for me personally, to keep me sane and to keep up with a family of 5 for sure. So basically that's it.
Okay, so your non-scale victories is you were feeling more yourself, and you definitely had more energy. Do you want to share any of your scale victories?
My scale victories, I lost quite a bit of weight. I lost more inches than my weight. I've learned over the course of the year, and it's been a hard thing to learn, is to not go by the scale, because when you diet and you're trying to lose weight, the first thing you do is hop on the scale. And if that number doesn't go the way you want it to, you feel like you're failing. So to me, learning that inches is better than weight has helped me mentally too, because it's like, well, I feel better in my clothes, so if something must be happening. Even if the pounds aren't going anywhere, the inches are. So definitely for sure that, I don't worry about the scale anymore.
So what's your total inches? How many inches have you lost? Do you have enough?
I gained some over the holidays, which was no big deal. So I'm about 21 inches down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So Val, you want to share, because you're kind of a newbie, that you've only been going now, has it been 2 months, 3 months?
I'm at the end of my 3rd month.
Okay. So I'll let you share a little bit, and then I'll kind of back us up and share my story before I go through the synergy.
Yeah. So I have been trying since probably last July to really be more serious about my health and my fitness, because I recognized that I was really struggling with some issues from anxiety, and realized that like working out and being in a good physical state was really helping with my mental health a lot. And I kind of plateaued and was at a place where I was still feeling really stressed and a lot of anxiety in the day to day. And being a grad student has just kind of complicated all of that even more. And so I hadn't really considered making many nutritional changes at all until Jody reached out to me and talked with me a little bit about the possibility. And so I just kind of jumped in, like, both feet in the water.
You did.
And it's been great. Over the last 3 months, I've released about 12 pounds and 12 inches. And most of that has been off of my waistline. And so that's just been a great feeling to see like a real result happening, because I had been working really hard, but now my body is recovering faster. My body is managing the stress of being in school better. And I feel like I've told a few people, I really feel like all of a sudden my brain has superpowers. And I'm just,
I love that. I have never heard that quote before. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I have this new level of focus and this new ability to be in 100% wherever I am. And I've noticed it in the way that I work with the college students and the ministry I lead, and being really present with them, and being really present in my schoolwork, and really present in whatever space I'm in with other people, because overall I just feel less overwhelmed by everything going on in my life. And I really think this whole synergy of the system has been a big part of that.
Mm-hmm. I love it, because you're able to give your best to everybody, and you are the kind of girl that jumps in and you dive in. There is no wading in water. You jump in here, which I love.
Yeah, if I'm in, I'm 10 feet under.
That's right. So my story started where just last month I turned 50. So 5 years ago I was in my mid 40s, and I call it that I bought into the lie. Like, it was the whole, well, this is how you're supposed to feel as you age. And gosh, I've had a couple kids and the weight's coming back on, and I guess that's just the way it's going to be. And I am a gym rat. I have never not worked out in my life. So I've always had the fitness component in. I was a pretty clean eater, but I really felt like I was spinning my wheels, and I started to just feel blah and blah that I wasn't giving my friends and family the best version of me. And so a friend of mine, her name is Lisa, had posted a story about her husband. And her husband, Bobby, had lost 40 pounds, had knee surgery and back surgery. And the backstory behind me is that my husband was an international airline pilot, and he also had gained 40 pounds, had back surgery and knee surgery. So when Lisa posted her story, I immediately reached out, and I came to my husband. I said, I really want to do this for both of us. He was a little hesitant, and I said, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. We're either going to start to feel better in the first 30 days, or we can get our money back. So let's go for it. And so we did, and needless to say, 5 years later, we're still here and loving it. Mm-hmm. And, it really, I think people get stuck in that diet mantra, of they'll try one thing and stop, and try another thing and stop. And this really is a lifestyle. It's like working out, that if you stop, you're clearly not going to get the same results. But I always tell people, when you feel how great these products are in your body, you won't want to stop. Like, I can't ever imagine not having these products in my body. So that's a difference in mindset, that it is a lifestyle versus a diet. And the cool thing is that we have I call them different avenues. So if your avenue is weight loss, that may be one road. If your avenue is fitness and performance, that may be another road. If your avenue is healthy aging, that may be one. So you may start one road, and then you decide to detour and go down another road. Which I did for a while right after I lost. So I ended up losing 18 pounds and 20 inches. And after that, I needed a new fitness challenge. So I did a triathlon, and I beat my time by 7 minutes. So I was super excited about that. And I was 46. So, as my adorable bratty 19-year-old says, but Mom, it was just a sprint triathlon. Okay. See you do one at 46, honey. So that's kind of how we got here. And I call this friends helping friends, because when you start to feel better, you get to that place where you can't imagine you not taking these products, and you think everybody should feel this good. Like, it's almost kind of funny when we run into people who don't feel good. who are like, oh yeah, I don't ever want to go back to those days. You know, and so really what we do is we offer a solution and we let people decide if they want to give it a try. So that's kind of where we're at as far as Brittany and Micah. Now, do you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us like your name, who invited you here, what kind of health goals you're looking for?
Sure, I can go.
Okay,
Sorry, my camera's not working on my computer.
that's okay.
I'm trying to troubleshoot this entire time. So my name is Micah. I've known Val. I was a senior at Judson when Val was a freshman. So I've known her since 2009.
You're a Chicago boy too.
2008. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary.
Okay.
I actually live in Elgin.
Okay. Are you still in Elgin?
Yep, I
Okay.
bought a house by Wing Park last year in June.
Okay.
So I've done some fitness stuff. About 3 years ago, I went on a missions trip to Belize with Judson and started looking at pictures and realized just how much weight I had actually gained.
That's always eye-opening, isn't it?
Yeah, and when I compared it, my dad is 61. I was the same weight as my dad, and we did not want to be anywhere near that. So I started following a guy on Instagram and doing some high-intensity interval training stuff and doing meal prepping. And through that process over the last 2 years have kept off the weight, but have gone down from about 200 at my heaviest to about 165, 170.
Okay.
So I've talked to Val a lot about this, and we've kind of been on the same journey of not necessarily wanting to lose weight, but just to get fit. In my family, we have what we call the shadowing curse, which is just a big stomach for a guy.
Okay.
And so I've always been like trying to combat that and trying to lose that, because I know that later in life that can cause a lot of heart disease, a lot of respiratory issues, diabetes, and so on. So yeah, that's kind of where I am.
Okay. So out of curiosity, side note, you guys may have missed each other time frame wise. Do you know a guy named Tim Warzala from Judson?
Tim was a couple years behind me, so I don't think Mike.
Okay. You know Tim though?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you know he's Jake's small group leader?
Yeah, I knew that he was with them because Thomas knows him from.
Oh, right.
And like Thomas hasn't stayed involved at Willow, but yeah,
Right.
we know Tim really well.
Okay. I just was like small world, like, hey, I wonder if he knows him. So kind of funny. Okay, so we do have somebody then from up here, because I wasn't sure who was Texas, who was here. Okay, so Brittany, tell us a little bit. Oh, wait, I want to back up a second. So Mike, I have a question. So I totally get your whole working on the clean eating. And let me tell you, I have a lot of respect for you that you do the meal prepping. My question for you.
He does so much.
So my question is, do you like that? Do you like having to meal prep? Do you like having to count macros? Do you like having to spend that time preparing for the week?
It took me a while to get used to it. And it isn't my favorite thing to do. I have a huge, and I grew up with a grandmother who's from the South, so anything and everything sweet and carby was always involved in a meal. So I just kind of have gotten used to it, and I've used the meal prepping stuff that I've done to kind of follow it, but not necessarily always have to count 4 grams of chicken and 350 ounces of rice. But it does get annoying after a while to have to continue to do that, and just to feel like I'm hopefully staying at a right weight.
Right. So I will tell you, my favorite non-scale benefit, I'll call it, is I have become a huge convenience snob. So I was always a pretty clean eater, but I was never the meal prepper. So there's a ton of people I know who would do that. They'd take Sunday and prep for the whole week.
Mhm.
And the whole thought that our company, and I'll tell you a little more about this as we go, is very science-based. And we actually have 50 doctors on staff at corporate, everywhere from nutritionists to doctors to actually MDs. And to know that they've put together the system that has the perfect meal balance of macros and fats, carbs, proteins, like there is no thinking involved. It's add water. And I love the simplicity of just add water. So I have a feeling I'm going to be able to save you a bunch of time as well, Mike.
Okay. I'll take
Okay,
that.
so Brittany, let's hear a little bit of your story.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I'm glad you got the camera to work.
Yeah, me too. I was a little hesitant because it's my face, so it's like a no.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Well, I know Val from Truett. I graduated in December, but and now we do Camp Gladiator together.
Okay.
When I show up.
So are you down in Texas? What's Truett?
Yes.
Okay.
Truett is the seminary.
Okay.
Yeah. But like what you were saying, I'm pretty good with the whole fitness thing. Like, I run a lot, and I haven't lately because I've been a crazy schedule. But there's always the extra pounds, and it's just like, how do I lose? It's like always there. It's like sticking to me. So that's my main thing. And like you're saying, meal prep, it's like, I don't have time for that anymore. My schedule, I'm like a case manager, so I have placements here and there, and it'll be like 11:30. I'll be like, oh, I didn't have anything to eat for dinner, and I don't have time to make anything.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, everybody, for sharing your story. So what I want to talk about now is I like to explain Isagenix as we don't know what we don't know. Because ironically, like 30 years ago, I was a fitness instructor. So again, growing up in a health club, I thought I kind of knew what was happening in the industry as far as healthy living. But I have to say I was pretty ignorant in the fact that there's this perfect storm going on that I think some of us don't, or most of us don't even think about. And the first one is that we as a society live in stress, whether that's mental stress, workout stress, family stress, school stress. And it's almost gotten to the point that people are in competition of, oh, no, I'm more stressed. No, I'm more stressed. Like, it's really not a badge of honor because stress wreaks so much havoc on your body. It leads to inflammation. It leads to illness. And it's become this vicious cycle. So we have a product that actually helps regulate your stress. We call it teaches you to respond versus react. So I'm going to ask Christy and Val what your thoughts are on Ionix Supreme.
Ionix is my favorite thing. So I go and I work out every morning, Monday through Friday. And the first thing I do when I come home from my workouts, it's like in the door and I'm heating up water to make my Ionix. And it's just the best recovery there is. And then I have like an alarm set on my phone for every afternoon at 2:00 and it goes off and it just says Ionix to remind me to have another serving because on the days when I'm using it and the days when I'm using it more than once a day, I feel my muscles recovering faster. I just feel more clarity. I feel just generally more at peace with the world. And so I love this. It's my favorite product by far.
Mm-hmm. And I would have to say probably 90% of the people on our team, that is their answer. I think Christy's going to agree with you here in just a second. So I call it liquid gold because it really is like that good. And I think just like you've said, we tell people one a day is mandatory. So you wake up every morning, it's a powder, you just mix it with water. I do mine in a little juice glass in about 3-4 ounces. And so it tastes like a combination of a cider and a tea, and you take that first thing in the morning, and it is just very calming. So what it is meant to do is help regulate your cortisol level. It helps cut cravings, specifically sugar and caffeine. So how'd you do over Easter this year? Any cravings for sugar?
Not really, no. I mean, my sweet tooth just isn't the same. Like I also have cut my coffee habit completely, which I mean, Mike has watched me do this for years. I have been a full pot, if not more, every single day by myself for years.
You had told me that before we started.
Before, like all the time, 3 to 4 cups every morning, another couple cups in the afternoon. And I'm like drinking 1 cup every 3 to 4 days now.
Yeah. And I do think that second dose during the day gives you exponentially more results. And for me, what we've noticed is sleep improvement, mental clarity, energy for that midday slump where it's like 2-3 o'clock and you kind of want to take a nap. You don't have that anymore either. Christy, what are some of the changes you've noticed with it? Wait, you're muted. Let me unmute you. Oh, I can't do it. Can you unmute you?
Oh, got it. Yeah, just in case my kids come running out, you don't hear them screaming.
Sure.
Yeah, I've noticed all of the above, just like you guys said. I also have noticed it's helped with my mood swings. What has helped, how I noticed that was when I first started and I was trying to get into the habit of figuring out how much would get me through a month. And I learned the hard way not to let yourself run out. And I was out for like 3 days waiting for my order. And my daughter, she's like, what is wrong with you? Like, she could totally tell a difference in my personality. So for a while when they were getting used to me doing this nutrition, she's like, have you had your Ionics this morning? Because they know that's my routine. That's the first thing that goes into my body as soon as I get out of bed, is I do like you do, Val, and I heat mine up because I like it warm and it dissolves better. And then I'll drink that while I'm getting everybody's stuff ready for school and work. And then I do my coffee and then I have my shake. So I have like a set rhythm in how I do my morning. So
right.
Yeah.
So Micah and Brittany, are either of you guys familiar with adaptogens, or have you heard of adaptogens before?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so adaptogens are natural herbs that are actually grown in climates that they should never survive in. So think of places like the Himalayas or mountains where it's very severe weather. And adaptogens, literally, when they're in your body, they're going to adapt to your stress level. So Ionics, because of its adaptogens, may do something different for me compared to Val, compared to Christy. So what Ionics is, and all of our product line, it's all natural. We never have preservatives. We never have fillers in it. But the Ionics is 200 adaptogens that it literally is going to help your body recover and manage stress. So again, first thing in the morning is we do 1 dose. We prefer a second dose, but that second dose is optional. We do have professional athletes on our system. They take up to 5 or 6. So you can't necessarily OD on it. And if people come to me and they're like, yeah, I'm still having sugar cravings, or my energy isn't where I want it, my answer will always be, have another Ionics. Like, start there and see what happens. So that is one of our scenarios where people don't realize the stress they're under. The second piece that I think a lot of people don't realize is that our fields in the United States, sadly, are nutritionally bankrupt, that we just don't have the nutrition that we did 20, 30 years ago. And with our shakes, they are complete meal replacement shakes. They're not smoothies. They're not just protein. Each one of our meal replacement shakes equals 2 organic plated meals. And when I chatted with Lisa, I said, so, there's a gazillion shakes on the market. Why are ours different than anybody else's? And there was a couple big differences. The first is that our products, hey there, is that Micah?
It is. Micah,
okay. Yay, we get to see you. Our products come from New Zealand. And I don't know if any of you guys have studied New Zealand at all, but they have the strictest farming regulations in the world. They don't do the injections, the herbicides, the pesticides, the GMOs like we do here. That's just not in their wheelhouse. So our product is coming from a cleaner, richer soil. The other difference is we say we have certified cheerful cows. So what that means is we're not going to pay for that organic stamp because the organic stamp is really expensive. However, knowing the field and the regulations for the farming in New Zealand, and knowing we don't do injections, we say we have certified cheerful cows. So it's basically saying they're organic without paying for the organic stamp, if that makes sense. The other thing, so Mike and Brittany, have you guys ever bought a canister of protein shakes from a store?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so the biggest learning curve for me that I did not pay attention to is that there's two ways to process whey protein. One is to have denatured whey, and the other is undenatured whey. So I always challenge people to go look at your protein containers and see which way it is, because 9 times out of 10, and if it's been processed in the United States, it's going to say denatured whey. And what that means is they've heated it up to turn it into whey protein. So now what I want you to think of is cooking vegetables, that most of us realize when you overcook your vegetables, all the nutrients go into the water and you don't have as much in the vegetables. So denatured whey is a heat process to turn it into protein powder, but now you've cooked all the goodness out of that protein powder. An undenatured whey is actually a cold misting process, and it keeps everything intact. And besides having the whey protein, we infuse it with the missing vitamins and minerals that we don't get in our table food. We have prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes in there. So I say it's not just a shake. It really is filling the gaps of what we're missing from the nutrition in the food in America. So what we recommend is if you are having weight loss or convenience or leaning out in your wheelhouse for your goals, we are going to recommend taking 2 of our shakes and replacing 2 of your meals. Now, we always recommend breakfast because we want you starting the day fueled properly to set your day up. And then with the flexibility of the program, you can choose, do I want my second one to be at lunch or do I want it to be at dinner? And it does not have to be the same every day. So if you guys are doing something where you have class at night or you have something to go to and it's easier for you to just drink it on the run, you could do that. If it's something where you love to cook and you're going to make this great meal and you want to have your second shake for lunch, go for it. So I want to ask you guys, Christy and Val, when do you typically do your second shake?
Mine is for lunch.
Okay. Val?
Mine varies depending on the day. So like every Monday, I have classes from 8 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. And so like on those days, I just throw my shake in my bag and I have it for lunch. But then there's other days that like on Thursdays, I have church stuff in the evening. So I have my plated meal for lunch and I drink my shake in the car on the way to church on Thursday night, usually after my workout. So
yeah, and I have to say we 70% of the time do ours for lunch, but now that our younger son, Jake, is in lacrosse season, if we have to run to a lacrosse game, we'll purposely do a plated lunch so that we can slam the shake in the car on the way to the game. So you just adjust it to your lifestyle to see how you like it. And what we recommend is when you're in weight loss mode, now, Brittany, do you work out too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our program was actually written for a sedentary person, but knowing that both of you guys work out, we're going to actually double the snack amounts. And so what we recommend is to start your day with Ionix and have a shake, and then you're going to have 2 morning snacks. You're going to have either a plated meal or your second shake for lunch. Then you're going to have 2 afternoon snacks, and then you're going to do the opposite for dinner of what you did for lunch. So I tell people you're going to be eating and you're actually going to be eating more often and probably more food. It just looks different compared to the traditional American meal of what people think of. So did Val and Christy, do you guys eat more or less than you used to?
Oh, way more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm more sedentary just because I'm still trying to get the motivation to get into a workout routine. So I do the snack in between breakfast and lunch and in between lunch and dinner. But after dinner, I'm not hungry at all. So I normally don't. But as far as like my dinner goes, if I want to change up my routine, like if I hit a plateau or something, I'll sometimes switch my lunch and my dinner shake. So that kind of changes. So, it changes what my body's expecting to happen.
Confuse it a little. Yeah, just like workouts. Perfect.
I do eat more, so because I never did snacks before. I was lucky I could remember to eat meals.
Right. And so for our snacks, you can do a healthy snack out of your own fridge or pantry, or we do have some snack options for you as well. I don't know if you guys buy protein bars like Cliff Bars or something at the store. We actually have protein bars that are the same undenatured whey protein. And what we recommend is to cut a bar in half, and half of a bar equals a snack. So the bars are 18 grams of protein. So you're getting 9 grams of protein by cutting them in half. So, depending on your goals, if you're actually looking to have even more protein, or for example, Lisa, my coach, is a Boston marathoner. So she's really taking in the nutrition that she'll eat a whole bar while I'll eat a half a bar. So you can kind of play with your hunger level on that, whether you want half or a whole as your snack. And I think a lot of that depends on how hard you're pushing yourself at the gym. Okay. Do those make sense to you guys so far, Brittany and Micah?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the third piece of the health situation that I don't think people realize is going on is that our bodies are also every day taking in impurities, air pollution, water pollution, carpet cleaning, or just cleaning solutions in general, hairspray, pet cleaner. Like, we just are bombarded by toxins every day. In fact, I'll put you guys on the spot. Anybody know how many toxins are in the average body? Do you remember this, Val?
I remember talking about it on the Facebook page, but I don't remember. It was a huge number that I did not expect.
Christy, do you remember?
I want to say it's somewhere around the 200 range.
It's 200. So the average body has 200 impurities in it. And our liver and our body was never made to be able to clear out those impurities at that level. So basically, we've overstressed the body with the environmental pollutants that we take in daily. Now, here's the good and bad news for those of us that work out as well. Think about, as we're working out, we're breathing more often, that we actually take in, or I should say we breathe 12% more than a sedentary person. So we're actually taking in more toxins because we're breathing more often. So we're helping our bodies and we're gaining strength, but we're taking in more impurities at the same time. So it's the good with the bad. So what we do with that is we do a 2-day cleanse. And I know you guys are probably thinking, okay, cleanse, what does that look like? And I said to Lisa, you say cleanse, I hear clean out. So Val and Christy, they're running to the bathroom at all on cleanse days?
No. Never.
So our cleanse is at a cellular level. And what that means is it's literally pulling out the toxins and letting the body and your liver and all the organs come back to working the way it's supposed to work, versus being stressed out and overloaded and not being able to do as quick of work as it's supposed to. So why it is 2 days is that first day is more of the burning of your sugars, and the second day is more of the pulling out the toxins. You're actually building lean muscle and burning fat on that second day. So the big thing for cleansing is you don't want to do it on workout days, mainly because we don't want you exceeding your caloric intake so that you're burning muscle. We want to be burning that fat. So this is where I think you both, Brittany and Micah, you guys will be surprised. The definition and the leanness and the muscle building is you're going to still work at the gym, but you're not feeling like you're killing yourself to get results at the gym, which I always think is awesome. And so there's a couple ways to cleanse. The first way is a 2-day back-to-back, and that's what we really recommend if weight loss is in your wheelhouse. If you're a really high-performing athlete or you've hit maintenance and you're like, yeah, I really don't want to give up 2 days back-to-back doing cleanses, what some athletes do is they'll pick 1 day every week. So say every Thursday or every Tuesday, you do a 1-day cleanse. So again, we want this system to work in your life, not have it be the excuse of why you can't do it. So there is a ton of flexibility in there for you. Does that make sense? Do you guys have questions on the cleansing? Because I know that usually surprises people. Okay. So oh, wait, you're still muted, Micah. Although I'm showing you unmuted. Try again. Let me try again here. All right, does that help?
Nice ringtone.
That's my ringtone, sorry.
All right, are you there, Micah? Can we hear you?
I can see you.
I can see you.
That's weird.
I don't know if this is going to
Oh, there it goes.
echo though.
Like the Matrix.
Okay, there's also a chat box at the bottom. So if you can't get the unmute, you can always chat in the chat box too. I feel so techie. Those of you, like you millennials, like this is so not a techie. I'm not a techie person at all. Like this is huge that I know how to navigate Zoom.
So proud of you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so feel free to type any questions in the chat box if you have questions or comments. But the fourth pillar that we talk about is, and so just so you guys know, those first three pillars, I call those inseparable because that is truly the synergy of the products that we want to de-stress you, we want to flood your body with nutrition, and then we want to pull out those impurities. So I tell people we're not the one pill wonder magic company. We are the healthy wellness company. So that is the magic when you put all those pieces together. The fourth piece we have, I also am hugely passionate about, and I believe everybody should do it, but this is the one piece that some people will say, I'm going to come back and add this. Other people jump in with both feet and say, yep, I want everything from the beginning and give me the best shot right out the gate. And that's our vitamins and minerals. So the difference with our vitamins and minerals is that they are water soluble. They take about 7 to 10 minutes to actually dissolve. We put them in water to make sure. And the reason that's important is a lot of people buy vitamins and you're literally peeing out money. Like if they're not water soluble, your body's not absorbing the vitamins and minerals. The second thing that was interesting is that it is about twice the potency of anything we've seen sold over the counter. So my husband, Randy, was the big vitamin guy where he'd have the separate 20,000 pills lined up on the counter. So he actually added up what it would cost to buy the potency of our Ageless Essentials, and it was over $500. And our vitamins and minerals are 140. So I'll take the 140 over the 500 any day. And the third piece with our vitamins and minerals is that we have one product in there that we have a patent on, and it's called Isogenesis. So Brittany and Micah, are either of you guys familiar with telomeres? Okay, I wasn't either. So if you go back to Biology 101 and you picture that little twisted DNA strand, you know, from biology class, telomeres are the very ends, they're little caplets of your DNA strands. So now what I want you to picture is a shoelace and picture a 2-year-old. Does a 2 or 3-year-old ever have their shoelaces tied? Ever?
No.
No is the answer, which then they start to fray and they shrivel up till they're about this big. So what happens is as we age, and I know you guys are much younger than I am, but as we age, those caplets start to come off and our DNA strands start to fray, just like shoelaces. And that's actually what starts to cause illness, autoimmune diseases, and actually, hey, Julie, and in the end, actually could be death. So our product formulator 12 years ago found a way to stop telomere damage and repair it. And so I call this facelift in a box, that I am all about the healthy aging. And so we are the only person to have telomere repair at this point, and we have the water soluble vitamins and minerals. So again, all 4 pillars work really well together. I also give the analogy of a table. A table is most sturdy when you have 4 legs. Will it work on 3? Yes. Is it going to be as sturdy? No. But just know we have systems for everybody. So the way this works is that whomever invited you, so both Brittany and Micah, in your case, Val, we would say, okay, which pack works best for you? And I'm going to go over that next. And then she actually does an online enrollment. So it's kind of like iTunes or Amazon where you have your own online account. And then how long did it take you to get product, Val? Because I don't know where your closest distribution center is.
It takes like 3 to 4 days for my box to ship every month.
Okay, that's what I was kind of guessing. So Micah, you're here up in Chicago. We get ours in 2 business days. We have a distribution center in Wakanda, so we get ours pretty fast. So you guys down in Texas will get yours in about 3 to 4 days. how does yours come? Does it come UPS, FedEx? Do you know who it comes by? Because you're never there.
Yeah, I'm never here when it gets dropped off. I'm pretty sure it's UPS because FedEx just is weird in this area and never shows up at my building. So
okay. And so, Micah, we typically get ours in a company called Speedy Delivery, which I had never heard of them. I'm going to put the creep warning out. It's this unmarked white van that shows up to your house, and they run and drop the box and run back to the van. So the first time you have to, like, is it a bomb or what? Like, seriously, Christy, you've seen it, haven't you?
Actually, I have United Delivery Service, so it's usually they drive their own vehicle. And yeah, and normally mine comes around the same time, and it's like a 2-day, like today my the girl that I signed up, hers is expected to ship tomorrow, so she should get it on Friday. And right. I told her about that. I said, it's not UPS or FedEx, it's going to be the delivery service. So, when some guy walks up to your door, I had one person, when I walked out to grab it, he took a picture of me, and I'm like, is this normal?
Don't get creeped out because they don't necessarily use the common delivery methods, but hey, we get our product, so I'm not going to complain.
Exactly.
So 2 to 3 to 4 business days is typically what it takes to get the product. I'm all about group and team atmosphere. It's just like a fitness program. You're going to have better results when you have more people that you link arms with. And that way, if I'm not available to answer questions, you can get hold of another team member to ask questions. Plus, it makes it very duplicatable that, you see all we're doing is sharing experiences. So because this is a physical transformation, people will notice something has changed. Whether it's you're getting more ripped at the gym, you don't have bags under your eyes studying for finals, whatever it is, people will notice the change. And so I tell people, be prepared. And then when they start asking, we do this. We just have a conversation, and then I call it sharing the gift of health. That the coolest part is we do have the opportunity to get our products paid for. So I tell people, I think everybody should get free products, because why should we pay for food if we don't have to? But then if you also want to earn a second stream of income, or you really love residual income, because we do have 7-figure income earners within Isagenix, we can teach you that as well. So we meet you where you are, and our first goal is for you to hit your health goals. But if you are looking for that additional stream of income, we can help you with that as well. Does that make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I want to do, now bear with me because this is going to be a techie thing for a second. I need to share my screen. I just need to find where it is. Okay, desktop. I need to get this. All right. You're going to let me share my screen. All right, let me try that again. Because I have multiple things on my screen, but I really just want you guys to see one thing. Okay, I can see you guys on the side. Can you guys see my Getting Started pack?
Mm-hmm.
You see this?
Yeah, that's cool.
Excellent. Thank you for shaking your head. Okay, so we have a couple of different kits here. So and now I know you guys are young, but are you guys familiar with Costco and Sam's and wholesale clubs? Yes? Okay. Yeah. And you're not that young. Yay. So Isagenix is just like Costco, where you're going to pay an annual membership once a year to get wholesale pricing. Now, we literally have 70 products in our back office, but we're not going to go through all 70 products with you. So we have 3 packs, enrollment packs that we look at typically. And with the first 2, the value pack and the premium pack, they waive the $29 membership fee. So for that first year, you wouldn't pay it, but then a year from now, you would pay the $29. So it's just once a year. And then the value pack, this is the one, and where are they? So right here, it's in the middle where it says Complete Essentials in blue. That is the vitamins and minerals, the Ageless Essentials that I was telling you about. So this is the only packet that's going to come with the vitamins and minerals we were talking about. But what's also cool is they give you the core products. They're giving you the de-stressor, the ionics. They're giving you shakes. Now, all 3 packages come with 4 containers of shakes, which is equivalent to 68 meals. So I'm going to guess, especially being young adults, Brittany and Micah, I'm doubting you ever go to the grocery store and buy 68 meals all at once.
No, I don't.
So think of it this way. You're getting your 68 meals all at once, but then with the value pack and the premium pack, they're giving you some other packages to really experiment with. And so here's where I'm going to have Val and Christy kind of tell us a little bit about some of the products they like. So one of the things we have is we have eShots. Now, I have to say eShots have become one of my best friends. eShots are our version of a healthy 5-hour energy drink. So it's not like the crap you buy at Walgreens. There's no spikes and dips with it. It's equivalent to 1 cup of coffee. It is fueled with green tea, and they have adaptogens just like the Ionics, but these adaptogens specifically are for focus. So Val, tell me you have eShots for finals.
So one of the things Isagenix does is if you buy 6 of any product, you get 10% off.
This is your 6, isn't it?
So last month I ordered 6 12 packs of eShots, and I still have like probably 10 boxes of them sitting in my cupboard, but I'm going through them really quickly this week. They've been wonderful.
So here's some ways you can use the eShots. They're a pre-workout drink. Road trips. I don't know if you're planning on driving home at all, Val, that 18 hours. I keep them in the car for road trips. Days that you're going to have high focus. So my boys, I have a freshman at Baylor and I have a junior in high school. When they have AP tests, when they have final exams, when they took SATs, I always had them take an eShot beforehand. If you're just having one of those really long days where you're up at dawn and you know you're not going to be home until 10 p.m. at night, and you're going to need something as a kick in the pants at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, even if you've already done a second Ionics, you can still do an eShot as well. And then on cleanse days, you can do an eShot. Now, the funny part is that people have different reactions on cleanse days because, and here's a fun trivia piece, our body's energy, it takes 80% of our energy to digest food. So when we're cleansing and you're giving your digestive system a rest, some people act like the Energizer Buddy, which would be my husband. Like, he has more energy than 5 people combined on cleanse days. I'm like, would you chill? Other people, and this would be Randy as well, which is kind of funny, they get cold on cleanse days because your furnace isn't burning as much. Have you had that, Val?
I'm so cold on cleanse days. I carry a coffee cup with me everywhere I go, and I just put hot water in it, and I just drink water all day long.
He walks around the house with a hat on indoors, like in July, like like not ball cap, like winter ski cap. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm cleansing.
And now I drink all of my cleanse warm also. I don't drink it cold anymore. I drink all of it warm.
Yeah.
So funny enough, I don't have either of those side effects. So again, we never know how your body's going to react. But for me, I would have to say it's not an energy slump, but it's more of a focus slump that I get in on cleanse days. And so for me, I take an eShot on a cleanse day as well. So multifunction for the eShots. They come in 3 flavors: raspberry, lemon lime, and pomegranate. I will tell you, pomegranate I think is kind of nasty, but the lemon lime and the raspberry are awesome. Then we have Isodelites. So Christy, do you want to tell us if you have cleansed with or without Isodelites?
I did once, and I'll never do it again. When I first started, Jody had to come to my rescue on my very first 2-day cleanse because I just had my cleanse and my snack wafers, and she kept asking me how I was doing. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm so hungry. And then by the next morning, I was just like, I don't think I can make it. So she drove all the way to my house and brought me some life-saving things, and Isodelites were one of them. And I tell you what, they are in my cabinet all the time.
So these are one of our 6 as well. So it's a little square that kind of looks like a Dove square, but it is infused with antioxidants. So 1 little square of chocolate is equal to a cup of organic blueberries. So we have guiltless chocolate, and it tastes delightful, which is why they're called Isodelites. That they come in a sea salt caramel, which is my favorite flavor, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and a dark mint. So you get and so on cleanse days, you can have 5 chocolates on cleanse day. And Randy and I typically have an Isodelite every night just so that we're not going for ice cream or cookies or crap we don't need. And it's just enough to curb that sweet tooth. and there's no guilt involved. So we have chocolate every day, and on cleanse days we have 5 chocolates. So you get a box of Isodelights. You get a free magic bullet. It's called an Isobullet. And then this box here, these are our protein bars that I talked about earlier, where they're just like buying a Cliff Bar type thing, where it's the 18 grams of protein. So half of a bar could be a snack, possibly a whole bar could be a snack. Whey Thins are a new snack that are both in the value pack and the premium pack, that they look like little Chex Mix, but they are filled with 10 grams of protein. And it comes in 3 flavors: white cheddar, sour cream and onion, or barbecue. And on a cleanse day, besides having the Ionics and Cleanse for Life, you're either going to have some Whey Thins, or you're going to have what we call Scoobies. And the Scoobies are little wafers that they look like dog biscuits, which is why we call them Scoobies. So it's not that you're not having anything in your mouth on cleanse days. You're just having a little bit of snack support to keep your blood sugars level. Now, in the value pack, there are 2 other things with it that the other packs don't have. It gives you our isogreens. So isogreens are your phytogreens, your very deep greens that we don't get in our diets as well. And it's also going to give you 2 free membership codes. And those membership codes last for 60 days. So if you're thinking, hey, I really love the idea of this residual income, and I can instantly think of people who want to jump on this with me, this one gives you 2 free membership codes so that they get an additional $29 off their system. So this one here, replacing your 68 meals, is going to come out to be $20 a day. So here's where I need you guys to think about, what do I spend on food? And I'm talking grocery store, out to eat, concession stands, vending machines, your lattes. Like, what do I spend? And typically what I find is people spend more food than they realized they had spent, or even spend more money on coffee than it costs for one of our meals. And I know, Val, you made that comment that you were shocked right away. Like, you didn't realize how much you were eating out and how much you were actually saving on the back end.
Yeah, I was initially, when you and Randy first started Isagenix like 5 years ago, we talked about this. And at that point, like, I was just finishing college and I was super broke, and I was like, there's no way. So a few months ago when you reached out to me about it again, I was still really concerned that there's no way I can afford this. That's a huge number. So what I did was I actually sat down and I went through my checking account, and I totaled up every single grocery store trip, every single restaurant, every single coffee shop, everything I had spent for the entire month prior, and looked at that total number and went, oh, this isn't that different. It's just that I'm doing it in one, like, I'm adjusting my budget so that it's all coming out of like one paycheck at the beginning of the month instead of being spread out.
Right. And I tell people, you're going to invest in your health, but you're going to see that money reallocation within a week or 2, just depending on how much you're eating out and stuff. But it's a pretty quick flip of money. The joke in our house, especially having all boys, we will run out of toilet paper and toothpaste before we run out of food. So I only go grocery shopping every couple of weeks now. And so this is going to, by the time you put your shipping and tax on here, and right now, just so you guys both know, every so often they'll give incentives, is that Isagenix is offering free shipping up to $50. And on this kit, the shipping is typically $40 to $45. So you will get free shipping on this kit. So you're going to be somewhere in that $620-ish is going to be my guess by the time you put tax on here. I'd have to kind of calculate it out, especially because they're coming in different places. But you figure somewhere around that 600 mark, but you're going to get a big savings with that shipping in there as well. The second kit below it is very close to it. You still get the free enrollment. You get everything in the value pack except the vitamins, except the isogreens, and except the 2 free membership codes. So this one comes out to be your $14 a day. Again, think about, how do I spend my meals, my 2 meals a day. And then the basic one, I call this the stripped down version pack, is our 30-day system. And this one, do pay the $29 wholesale membership fee. You are going to get your Ionics, your shakes, your cleanse, your support products for your cleanse days. But you're not getting your e-shots, your bars, your Isodelights. you're not getting the blender, and you're not getting the free membership. So this is your $10 a day. Again, I like to meet people where they are, and this is where we want you to think about what are these 3 options, that you have. And I would say 90% of the people who enroll with Isagenix come in on one of these 3 packs. So I want to show you one other thing. Now, Val told me, and I think, am I guessing, Val, that Mike is the one you were talking about athletically?
No, it was my friend Nathaniel, and he wasn't able to join us tonight.
Okay. So I will show you guys, just because I have it here on the screen. Now, can you guys see this screen? All right, can you see me moving my mouse? Okay. So I do have some performance-based systems that if you're looking for even greater results in the gym, this is the other system you could look at. So I'm going to switch screens here. The shakes here, the Isoline, so anything that says Isoline, that means meal replacement in our world. So our Isoline shakes, these here, are 24 grams of the undenatured whey protein. You always want to have above 20 grams of protein. If you're ever taking a shake for a meal replacement that's less than 20 grams, you're starving yourself. For people that really are high athletes, they're fueling quite a bit, or you're really looking to put on lean muscle. So for example, Lisa, my coach, who's the Boston Marathoner, and she did run her 11th Boston in the sleety rain last Monday with 40-mile-an-hour winds. She does the Isoline Pro, and that is the same shake, but instead of 24 grams of protein, it's 36 grams of protein. So these performance systems, you get 2 boxes of shakes instead of 4 at the 36 grams. And then we have a line that's called Amped, and that's our fitness fueling. So Micah and Brittany, are you guys familiar with nutrient timing? Your pre, during, and post nutrition? Yeah, okay. So we have some nutrient timing. As you can see, our e-shots are in there as well. We have this orange container is called Hydrate. That's our version of Gatorade, so it's your electrolyte replacement, but it is half the sugars, twice the electrolytes. The blue bottom down here is called Nitro. Nitro is our pre-workout. It has some creatine in it. It has a little bit of caffeine in it. It's all of the products you need right before you work out. So my husband Randy tastes this. It tastes like a salty watermelon is the flavor of it. And then post-workout, my favorite product in the Amped line, besides e-shots, is the Recover. And that's really rebuilding your branched-chain amino acids. This is going to help your lactic acid so that you're not sore after your workouts. This one tastes like a raspberry lemonade. So here's your pre, during, and post-workout. The other one over here, and Mike, I'm going to look at you for this one. Are you familiar with the new science coming out with vasodilation and beet juice training? Okay, so this is kind of new. They've been doing some studies. They've been testing a lot of professional athletes in Europe, hockey, football, lacrosse, that the NOx training, it is a study where if you actually increase and vasodilate your blood vessels, you can get the blood pumping faster and get the oxygen to your muscles faster and actually improve your performance. This is Lisa's favorite, my friend who's the Boston Marathoner. This is probably one of her favorite products because the NOx stays in your system for 24 hours. So on race days, you take this the night before your race, so you don't have something else jostling in your stomach as you're running, but it actually stays in your system for 24 hours. It also is great as far as a healthy situation, that if you're just looking for good cardiovascular health, they recommend you can take it every day too. And it's going to taste like a V8. It's a little bit sweeter than a V8, but it is beet juice, tomato juice, other vegetable bases to it. And then the bottom one we have, this is another bar, but instead of being another meal replacement or snack bar, this is just pure protein. So this would be a post-workout protein bar, and it's actually 28 grams of protein. Now, because it's just a protein bar, and I don't know if you've tried these yet, Val, it's a different consistency than the Isoline bar. It's a little wetter and a little chewier compared to the Isoline bar. I prefer the Isoline, but some people looking to put on bulk and lean muscle prefer the Amped bar. So some choices in there. The flavors of the Amped bar are brownie, cookie dough, and strawberry. So this performance system is $279. They give you a custom option where they pull out these two, and this has an Ionic. So they pull out the Ionics, the bar, and the Knox, but they give you $100 of, I call it play money, where you could pick whichever you want. And so you could get Ionics, you could get some more shakes, you could get Cleanse. This kills me that neither of these kits come with Cleanse, knowing that we breathe more often and take in more toxins. So in my opinion, Cleanse should be in here. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the ideas for enrollment. So the free shipping that we have goes until Sunday. It's up to $50 of shipping. These kits and these kits are typically about $25 to ship. Like I said, oops, wrong one. The value pack, where'd my value pack go? There we go. This one is typically $40, $45 in shipping. And what they do is shipping with 150 BV. BV stands for our volume, and they call it points. Where's my screen I'm looking for? So in this one, you can see the BV is 189. You're above the 150, so you'd get the free shipping. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can stop sharing my screen. Oh, and there you all are still. Okay, so I know I've just kind of overloaded you guys with some questions, but let's hear from Brittany and Micah what you like that you've heard or any questions that you've had.
Brittany chatted in.
I saw it.
Yeah, got a call, so I'm not sure if she's.
That's okay. Oops. Okay. So Micah, what are you thinking? Okay. Oh, good question. So is the price kit per month? So what we do, coming back to that group involvement, so once we enroll you, you have that online account that I talked about. So when you get your kit, you are going to call Val. If Val's not available, you call me, and I have you have a marker in your hand, and we physically walk you through the box where we have you write on the containers. I think it's an easier way to memorize. Plus, we'll send you PDFs when you enroll. And then she'll check in with you on your first shake day. She'll check in with you on your first cleanse day, just kind of see how you're doing. We have a private Facebook team page where we're always putting info out, trivia, tips, that type of thing, contests. Actually, Val took second in my weight loss contest.
So cool.
Well, and I'll have to say, we started the contest in January, so knowing you came in late, you could have crushed it and taken first if you had started January 1st, so who knows? But, so we have a team support page. By about week 2, again, either Val can do it or I can do it, or we can even do it together for her first time doing it, is we have you log into your back office and we show you all 70 products. So clearly I'm not going to go through all that tonight because it would take too long. Plus I don't want to overwhelm you. But you, by then, you have an idea with your eating pattern. You have an idea what you're liking and don't. So maybe you'd say to me, well, I for sure love those E-shots, but I'll have healthy snacks out of my house. I don't need the bars. Or I can't imagine cleansing without Isodelites. Like, we show you where to find everything. So from then on, you're in charge of your next cart. So it is always cheaper to stay within a system. But again, depending on your goal, you may start with one system and put a different system in your auto ship. The other thing, like Val talked about, is if you ever order 6 of something, you get an additional 10% off that wholesale price. So if you fall in love with these shots like Val does, you may get, 6 boxes of E-shots. So you can customize your kit every month. And that was really big for us because my husband, who was an airline pilot, his schedule rotated every month. So one month he needed more travel packs, the next month he needed more tubs. Or the bars, the kids would clean us out of all the bars and we'd have to get something different the next month. So we teach you how to do it in about week 2, but then you're in charge of your own cart from there on out. Does that make sense to you, Micah? Okay.
And then I can tell you, my initial months was my biggest buy-in so far. Like, the cost of the original pack that comes with the membership and comes with the blender and comes with all the other little extra things, like the support stuff, the snacks, all of that has been the biggest investment. But each month since then, I've chosen to just customize like the 30-day system,
Mm-hmm.
the weight loss value pack. But I haven't been buying like the other snacks really at all. And I've been snacking on like mostly like vegetables and hummus and protein based stuff out of my own snacks at home. And so that's been a way for me to balance out like, yes, I'm spending this on really good nutrition, but I'm balancing out like a little bit lower cost per month for some of it.
Right. Perfect. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So, hey, Julie, I saw you logged on. Julie's another girl up here in the Chicagoland area. Is there anything you want to add real quickly, whether you want to talk about? So, Julie is one of the few people on my team that did not join my team for weight loss at all. Julie is the other extreme where she had trouble gaining lean muscle. And so she came and do you have your stats, Julie, on how much lean muscle you gained? See if she's on mute. Is she there still? Are you there, Julie? Maybe she's not there anymore. So Julie is up near me in Woodstock, but she literally for years has had trouble gaining weight. And so she has put on lean muscle. And one of the products we didn't talk about that comes in all the kits, just so that you know, Micah, is called a natural accelerator. And that works on your visceral fat. And your visceral fat's all the fat around your internal organs, like your belly and your heart. I call it the heart attack waiting to happen fat. And even skinny people have visceral fat. And that was Julie as well, is that not that she had a gut by any means, but while she gained lean muscle, she got an even flatter tummy because she took away some of that visceral fat. So that's another piece that we work on with the healthy aging. So the way it works is that I tell people, when you're ready, we're here to help you, whether that's tonight, whether that's tomorrow, whether that's before Sunday with the free shipping, or whether it's after it. We don't tie you down and make you enroll, tonight kind of a thing. But if it is something that you're interested in, get back to Val. And she has a form where we literally customize your kit. So she's going to need, obviously, your name and your shipping address, but then she's going to go, okay, which flavor shakes do you want? And I didn't cover that, but the flavor of the shakes are strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, and chocolate mint. And so you get to pick 4 different canisters with, and if you want to do travel packets, you can customize and do some canisters, some travel packets. You get to pick whether you want the liquid cleanse or the powder cleanse. I prefer the liquid. So it takes like 15-20 minutes to customize your kit. And then, like we said, you get it in anywhere from 2 to 4 business days. And we just kind of start from there and you're on your journey. Make sense? I think he's typing.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I am always available if Val is not. I will give you guys my phone number because I know with you studying for finals, and I don't know when you meet with your small groups, that if you have questions or Val's not available, feel free to reach out to me. And my number is 847. Actually, I can type it here for you guys too. So if it's easier for you guys to just copy it. 847-217-9746. And again, my name is Jody. I will tell you Thursday morning I won't be available because I have my last Moms with Teens class at Willow. But I'm pretty much on and off all day long, almost every day. So if I can't get back to you right away, I will get back to you within typically 4 to 6 hours. So thank you for tuning in. And Val and Christy left already. Thank you for sharing your story. But we'll chat soon and let me know if there's anything I can help any of you guys with then. All right? All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.